What are the daily struggles for coaches? Are coaches being misled by today's online advice? Is your business a cozy side gig, or is it stuck in survival mode? We're going to look at why the pressure to build courses and funnels might be hurting your success more than helping. So this episode reveals the honest and often overlooked struggles that coaches face and what to do instead. Let's dive right in. So one of the things that we need to look at differently is it's not just about getting more clients. That's not the only metric that we're tracking. And you might need to think about this for a minute, but there's a difference in tracking getting consistent, scalable revenue. So a way that you'll be able to see the difference is, are you building just a job, or are you building a business? Most coaches really struggle with that. They work really, really hard and they create a really good job, but they haven't taken the steps to create that business. Now, another thing that we're going to talk about is how a lot of coaches will market a method, but not the result that that method should bring. Okay, so instead of marketing this result that they're going to help people, they have this method or this process or this model that they follow, and they market that method. And then one more challenge we're going to talk about that coaches really face is that they feel invisible online. When they think of their dream prospects finding them, they think of it as more of a dream than a reality. Now, there's a coach of coaches called Laura on YouTube. She talks about cozy coaching, and I'm going to contrast that with a coaching business. Now, depending on what your goals are, there's nothing wrong with that concept of a cozy coaching business where you're doing it on the side. Let's say you've got other priorities in your life. Maybe it's another career, maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, or maybe you've got hobbies and things that you want to do, and you want to do this coaching on the side as kind of a side hustle, or cozy coaching as Laura calls it. So there's nothing wrong with that. You just need to know what you're signing up for or what you're aiming at. And if you're just aiming at less hours, you can create a business that's very successful and not have to commit a ton of hours. The whole definition of a business is that you work on your business and you create systems that run independent of you. You create the systems instead of working in the business. So success isn't just about revenue, it's about time, it's about scalability, it's about impact that you're having, and it's a misconception that part-time means small impact. You can build something real with limited hours. Now, you're also going to hear a lot of talk about alignment and vibes, okay? And those things are important, but if your vision involves real growth and you're thinking about building a solid business with real impact, then you need to have a really clear plan. Now, let's talk about funnels, courses, or programs. What actually works? Now, courses can be great, and you're going to be tempted to focus on them first. I'm going to give you a recommendation that's the worst thing you could start with, because you're not going to learn the right habits. You're not going to build momentum. Becoming a successful business owner, you've got a big learning curve, and building courses and starting there is not going to allow you to learn any of the lessons that you're going to need to learn for success. Most likely, you won't sell very many courses at all, and you'll think that you're a terrible coach, or you'll think that you're not cut out for entrepreneurship. But that's just the reality for everybody. Courses sold by landing pages are a very, very small percentage. So you're not going to realize the potential that you actually have in your business. And if you are super successful with courses, you make more revenue than you expect, well, guess what? You're not going to be able to learn all the other lessons that you could have had you started another way. Now, there are parts of business that are fun, that you enjoy, that you feel energized when you do them, and there's other parts of business that aren't fun, that are kind of drudgery or that you dread, right? So there's a lot of different hats that you're going to wear, but the whole purpose of creating a business is you could create systems or automations or hire other people to do those parts that you don't enjoy. So you really can create a business where you're still involved, you're still self-employed for part of it, doing the tasks that are energy rich for you, that are fulfilling for you, that you enjoy. And because you've created those systems around the tasks you don't enjoy, those tasks aren't being neglected. Now, I am a man of faith, and so whether you're talking about faith from a belief or religion standpoint, or just a belief in yourself and wanting to be aligned with the work that you're doing, I fully appreciate that and fully agree with that, and I'm not dismissing it. But in addition to being a man of faith, I'm also a man of science. I feel they go hand in hand, and science has a lot of experimentation. When you don't have results, it's not just a matter of alignment, it's a matter of experimentation to really find out, okay, what's missing? What's the bottleneck? Did I try this or did I try that? What works better? And don't confuse discomfort with misalignment. It's important to get outside of our comfort zone. And so if we think that, oh, this just isn't comfortable, therefore it's not aligned, maybe you do need to take a step out of your comfort zone. Now, there are a lot of coaches out there that have varying levels of success, that have varying opinions about how to do coaching and how to grow a coaching business. As a coach, you don't need to copy what other people are doing, but you do need to get results and help other people get those results. So what do I mean by that? Even if you don't look like any other coach out there, if you can help a person go from point A to point B, and you can consistently help people do that, that's the whole purpose of what you're doing here. And so even if you don't look like anybody else, that's what you should focus on. If some of the advice that you hear sounds too good to be true, many of the advice that you hear will sound good, but it won't lead to results. So try and look at every piece of advice or every action that you're going to take or create in your business. Like, think realistically, what is it leading me to? And can I test it? Can I track it? Can I verify? Now, what about tools like YouTube or blogging? Okay, should I use those as a coach? The reason I bring up those tools compared to all the other shiny objects and all the other social media is because these are the tools that can actually grow your coaching business the most. And even beyond marketing, like marketing is getting in front of new people who've never heard of you before. And so these are definitely going to do that, but they actually have the power to position you as a thought leader, like the go-to expert in your space. So what I'm going to share next will really be valuable if you have expertise to share and your insights are really unique to you and your experience, and you've been able to help a lot of people go from A to B, whatever that process is, whatever that result is. So we can contrast that with coaches who mostly guide their clients through kind of an introspective process. As coaches, they're not giving advice, they don't have expertise. They're just using a method and asking the right questions to pull those answers out of their clients. Then maybe positioning yourself as the expert, as the thought leader, is not the best approach. So if you've been feeling stuck, or you're unsure how to stand out or how to move beyond just getting by, then the next step is simple. Go watch my episode, How to Position Yourself as an Expert. So in that video, I'll show you how to go from just being another coach to being the go-to expert in your space, the person that people seek out, trust, and hire. Go watch that episode now and start turning your experience into real authority.